Welcome to Motorama Maruka. Easy on the eyes tonight with the HSV Club meeting here to talk all things HSV. We spy a couple of much loved models as well as a couple of classics, and we take the time to go around and have a sticky beak. The HSV W427 is the limited edition flagship of the initial E-Series range by HSV, released in celebration of the company's 20th anniversary in 2008. This classic here is the Holden Commodore SS Group A SV, which was one of 4 models in the series built by Holden and then heavily modified by Holden's Holden dealer team, later named, you guessed it, Holden Special Vehicles. The SS Group A series of cars were created specifically so a racing optimised version of the Holden Commodore could be utilised for Group A touring car motor racing. Clever buggers. And of course, Paul's GDS took pride of place, welcoming everybody through the doors as the afternoon turned into an evening and the barbie got fired up.
Hi, welcome to Motorama at Maruka. We're here for the HSV Club meeting, the first one for the year. The guys are just having a bit of a sausage sizzle outside. It's a beautiful, balmy Brisbane evening. We've got the latest HSV GDS here. We've got a Group A over there. We've got a Walkinshaw W427 there. We've got a few cars to talk about. We've got Phil Hardy here, the president of HSV Australia. Looking forward to a big night here at Motorama for the HSV Club meeting. Should be a good night.
With plenty to ogle, the club finally grabs a seat inside and the meeting kicks off. A couple of troublemakers take the mic and welcome everyone to the meet.
It's a pleasure for us to host you guys. You're a great crew.
And the owners of the Walkie and the W427 showcase their cars in Australian motorsport.
Offshoot numbers. I'm not sure whether we're leading or coming second.
Before long, everyone gets their fill of HSV news and history, and finally, none other than Phil Harding, president of HSV Australia, takes the mic.
On to the GDS now. It's got 430 kilowatts, but what you're really feeling when you drive the car is the 700 newton meters of torque. I have this phrase called waftability. You don't need 6, 7 or 8 speed gearboxes. You probably only need 2 with a torque of 700 newton meters, because you can get by most things just by putting your foot down. You don't need to change it down 6 gears in order to do it.
Meeting done and dusted, we grab Phil to have a chat about why HSV is such an important factor in Australian motorsport.
What makes the passion in HSV?
Well, on a night like this, you can just see the customers and they just ooze passion. There's no shortage of people around Australia that want to tell me how to run my business and what they want to see on the next cars. But there's also no shortage of passionate people inside HSV. People think I've got the best job. I think I've got the best job that I've ever had. But one of the challenges of that is that whilst it's very rewarding to manage HSV, there are so many ideas coming up within our organisation about what we want to do. One of my toughest jobs is actually rejecting some in order to make the others happen.
Green technology versus performance. What are your thoughts?
We are always very responsible in that whatever we do, the laws of physics don't change from one car to the next. If you want a car that goes fast, it's got to have the energy to do that. But we are always very responsible in making sure that the tune of the car gives us the best fuel economy as well as the best performance. Many of our customers actually don't want to talk about petrol consumption, but at the launch of this car last year, the naturally aspirated car made a dramatic improvement of 7% on fuel economy. And that's just something customers appreciate. They're not demanding it, but we will do whatever we can to improve the cost of ownership as well as the CO2 emissions from the car.
And with the average car using about $100 worth of fuel a week, 7%, $7 a week, adds up over 12 months, I can tell you that.
Well, for a couple of years I ran an E3 GDS with LPG,
yeah.
and I was only spending $35 to fill it up a week.
Well, there you go. There's a bargain for you. Tell us about Gen F.
Okay, well, we have one here. When we launched Gen F last year in May, everything, I think only the centre caps for the wheels was carryover from the previous model, so everything is new. We completely revised the chassis and the chassis settings. The engines have been revised with more power with the LS3 naturally aspirated, and of course the iconic GDS with probably enough power, although some of our customers say there's never enough. Completely revised interior by Holden, which gave us a great platform to put our unique interior bits into it. But the car is so different from the E-Series. If you haven't driven one, if you're an E-Series or previous owner, you don't know what this car is like until you drive it. It's completely different.
Okay, there's been a debate, Phil, about the favourite colours in HSV. It's a hot topic amongst the club. What's your favourite colour amongst it?
I'll tell you that in a minute. But what I've seen through our factory is a change in the last 5 years. If you go back 5 years, the three prime colours that we would make that dominated the manufacturing area were red, black and silver. Someone in the business told me in October that we'd built over 1,000 Gen Fs, a third of those were black and a third of those were white, and the rest was the mixture of all the other colours. So black and white seems to be the dominant colour in the latest range. Now, I've had white cars for about 3 years now, so I've got a bit fed up with the white, so I'm running a red one at the moment, which is my favourite colour because it's faster.
Okay, there's your answer. And there's no chance of a yellow one coming back?
There isn't? No, there isn't.
No chance of that. Sorry, guys. That's because everyone's asking about where's the hazard gone?
That hero colour instead of yellow now is fantail. There'll always be a hero colour, but yellow was a time gone by.
Here we are with Les Gray, the president of the Queensland Owners Club for HSVs. And what drives the passion for HSV for you?
What drives the passion is I've always loved motor vehicles, and I've been a Holden person from day one, basically. So the passion for Holden back in the early days was EHs and even an old FB. Then I went into VLs, just an ordinary VL. Today I've got a VL SV88, which is actually made by HSV. Back in those days I couldn't afford to buy one. So, because they were the most expensive Holden that they'd ever made. They were $48,000 with a fax machine in them, of all things.
I would like to receive a fax while driving.
Yeah, you could just imagine receiving a fax and, in the traffic that you have in Brisbane these days.
Of course.
But, and then it's gone on from there, and I've upgraded from pretty well most of the HSVs that they've done since about 1995 onwards.
So Les has got a few HSVs. What other HSVs you got?
I've got a GTO coupe, which is a 2002 GTO coupe, and I've got a 2013 Club Sport. Of course in yellow, and the coupe is in yellow. I like the yellow colour, Paul.
It is a hero car. I tried to tell Phil it's a hero. He won't be coming back, he says.
Is that right? No, it's definitely, no, it's not coming back. No. So you've got to keep it, and that's why I considered I have to keep mine too, because you're never going to see yellow again, as he said.
That's it. It's fantastic. Fantail's a hero colour now.
Looks like a yellow cab to me. But,
each to their own.
Yeah, exactly right. But that fuels my passion, and the fact that with the HSV Owners Club is the greatest place to get with like-minded people. And like yourself, Paul, you're right into the HSV brand, and your enhancements of HSV brand are second to none. You've got how many horsepower sitting there?
Oh, 580 or something at the wheels. So
that's incredible stuff. Like that's V8 supercar stuff.
Well, it is. And, yeah, it's fun to drive.
We had our unofficial cruise this year, and normally we have about 30 to 35 cars. This year, 51 cars turned up. So you can imagine when we have our official cruise, what that's going to look like.
Did they meet at your house?
Yeah, they met at my place in the street, and they took off. And my neighbours haven't voted me out of the neighbourhood yet.
Okay.
So
well,
they reckon if it gets over 50, I'm gone.
Well, it was 51, you said?
Yeah, well, no.
He's not getting elected to council, that's for sure.
No, I told him it was only 50.